Hello, my name's Anne. I'm a STEM ambassador and I work for Thermofisher Scientific. That's a manufacturing factory in Cramlington. I'm receptionist there, but one of my favourite jobs is being a STEM ambassador and going out to different places to do activities and events. So today, thank you, by the way, for inviting me to your virtual Mara camp. It's so exciting to be here. So I'm going to do two sort of craft STEM things with you today. So the first one is Wok and Water. So I'm hoping that you got the information to get everything that you needed for these. So you need 7 clear plastic cups like this, and every other cup you fill with water to about, I would say, just half an inch from the top of the cup. So you've got every other one filled with water, and then you should have 3 food colorants. So you've got red, yellow and blue. Now I could only get the tube blue, so this one, when you add this one, you might need to stir it, so you could do with a spoon as well. You need 6 pieces of kitchen towel, so just normal kitchen towel. And what you do is you fold the towel in half and then you fold it in 3. So you fold it in 3 and then you just fold it in half again. So you should have 6 pieces folded like that. So I'll just wait till you get your 6 pieces folded. Once you've got the 6 pieces folded, then we're going to add the food colouring. So we're going to add the red to the first cup and the 7th cup. We're going to add, and I'll say about 5 drops, but you want a good strong colour. Just remember it's food colouring and it does stain your hands. Then we need to add the same amount of yellow to cup 3 and the same amount of blue to cup 5. So you just get the food colouring. Let's put some in. So I've put them in cup 1 and cup 7 for the red. And the yellow goes into 3. I like to make it nice and strong colours. And the blue goes into cup 5. So the blue, as you can see, I'll show you the difference if you have it in the tube. So that's how it looks when it's the blue when it's in a tube, but the yellow, because it was out of a bottle, that goes in really good. So you just stir the blue. And then if it doesn't look dark enough, just add a bit more. And then you should get your towel. So you want to put 1 piece in each of the cups. So the empty cup should have 2 pieces in. So they should have the following piece. So you're just linking them together and push them as far down as they will go. Taking care not to spill them. So this is, I'll just move the camera so you can see, this is what you should have. So they should look a bit like that. Okay, now this does take about, I would say, a good 30 minutes to do. So what we'll do is we'll put these to one side and then we will come back to them and see if the magic's worked. Now, what do you think would happen? This you can answer the question later. So one of the questions for this one is, what do you think is going to happen to the water? and why do you think it happens? All right, so I'm just going to move these out of the way and then we'll do the buzzer. So I'll give you a few minutes to get all your things together for the buzzer as well. And if you're doing what I am and moving them, just be careful when you move them. So don't want any accidents. Smooth those. So for the next activity, this is going to be the buzzer. So we're going to make something that is going to resemble a bee and hopefully sound a bit like a bee as well. So for this one, I'll just get my equipment. So you need one sheet of just A5 card, and then you want to fold it in half. So fold it exactly. You do need a ruler, but you don't have to use a ruler. It's just if you want to be precise with the ruler for the measurements. You need a lollipop stick and a pencil. You need some string, just normal string I have here. You need some blue tack or plasticine, doesn't matter which one you have. You also can either use double-sided sticky tape or you can use the glue dots. Now for this I'm just going to use the glue dots because sometimes the double-sided sticky tape is great, but sometimes it's very hard to unpeel it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get your card, and it's the folded edge that you need to measure and draw. You're going to put the lollipop stick. So what you basically want is you want about 1 centimetre each end of the lollipop stick. So you just do a dot with your pencil and a dot with your pencil there. So you can use the ruler if you want to be very accurate, or you can just freestyle like I'm going to do. And then you draw a small half circle. So you draw a small half circle and then you draw just slightly bigger. So you want it on the folded edge. All right. So I'm just gonna. All right. So you should have something like this. I'm sure yours is going to be a lot better than mine, but that's basically the shape that you're wanting. You should have some scissors to cut it out. Now be careful if you're using sharp scissors. So you're just going to cut around the shape. Just mind your fingers. And then just round again. So you should have, when you've cut it, it's on there, because it's folded, you should have a shape more or less like this. Okay. Now, in the middle of this, so you want to use the glue dots, because what you're going to do is you're going to put the lollipop stick in the middle. So when it's you put the glue dots on, it's going to be secure. So you want about this much of the stick showing, and you'll see why shortly. All right. So we'll just do that. So just put the glue dots on, or whatever you're using to secure it anyhow. It's just so that when we test it later, it doesn't all come apart. All right, so when you've done that, just put your stick in the middle, and then you just are folding it back, so it should be in the folded edge. And if it doesn't go right, just move it, because with the glue dots you can move it easy. And then you just press it down so that it's nice and secure. So this is what you have. It's better if you have a bigger bit at the end, so on the bigger half circle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the string, Now you can either just measure a couple of lengths of your ruler. So you want it long, but you don't want it too long. So I'm just going to do that and then just measure it again and then just cut it in half. And then what you're doing is you just tie in the string onto the back of this. And sometimes it's a bit fiddly, so if you need help, just ask someone to help you. So you need it to be quite tight on the back of the stick. So probably a couple of times. Now, at this stage, if you want, what you can do, you can put an eye on, you could put some stripes on, or you can leave that to do later. It just depends on what you want to do. All right, so you've got the string now secured on the back, and then you want to get 2 pieces of the blue tack or plasticine. And if it's blue tack, just stretch it a bit because otherwise it just doesn't work. And then you want to cover each end of the lollipop stick. And on this one, just make sure that you're securing the string on this part, because you don't want that to come off at all. You can put a little bit more on if you want. Okay, so this is basically what you should have. And then finally you need an elastic band. Now the best ones are the flat elastic bands, and you'll see why. So you get the elastic band and you place it just over the front, and then you just stretch it so it goes over the back. And what you want to do is you want to keep that elastic band. It needs to be tight, but it also needs not to be twisted. All right, so I'll just wait till everybody catches up. So I've got one that I did earlier just so you can see what it looks like if you've put a pattern on it, but I'm sure you can do a much better job than I can do. So it's the same as earlier, but this time it's been coloured in on the yellow card, and it's even got a little eye. So for the next part, it's very you need to be in a space so that nobody is beside you, and you need to swing this bee just above your head. Be careful not to obviously flick yourself in the face with it. All right, so I just get a hold of it. All right, and then you just swing it round. Now I'm hoping you can pick up the sound that it makes. Now, don't do what I've just done and whack yourself in the head. Now, if you want to make the sound a bit more, sometimes what you can do is just prise the folded part, like folded pieces, just open it up a bit, and then we'll try again. So again, just make sure that you're not beside anyone, and then it's swinging it above your head or to the side of you. Now I'm hoping that you picked up that it was a much better sound once you prized open the wings. You can make a few of these, and of course you can add bits to them. I mean, if you're adding anything further to them, you just have to make sure that you secure them all on. The elastic band, if it doesn't make the sound, the chances are that it's been twisted. So just take the elastic band back off and put it back on, because it doesn't always work first time. So that is your Flutter Buzzer. So it's great to play with these outside, and I'm sure you can make much better shapes as well. And I just want to see if you've got any questions. And then we'll go back to the Wok and Water.
So we have two questions.
Yeah.
One of the questions are, how long do you leave the cups with colours for?
Right, I would leave them for a good 30 minutes because it's not a quick process. I mean, you'll be able to see after about 15 to 20 minutes that the water starts to move. But the longer you leave them, the more intense you get the colours, and of course, the more the colour goes into the empty glass.
The other question was actually a statement, so.
Oh, was it?
It was, yeah.
Right. So what we'll do is I'll just move these out of the way, and then we'll go back because I also did the water earlier on, just so that you can see what would happen. So I'm just going to move all these pieces out so I can bring that one back around. Now I'm hoping I don't have any accidents, so I'll just move the camera a little bit first, just so we can get it around. Was there any questions on the water? Was there any questions as to, do we know why the water, what it's going to do?
No, but another question has just come in saying, can you use anything other than kitchen roll?
You can use, I think you can use the coffee paper, you know, the anything that's absorbent you can use. Kitchen roll I've just used because it's cheap and everybody has kitchen roll. But you can use you can get absorbent strips that you do the chromatography on anyhow, you know, so you can use those as well. But it works just as well with a kitchen towel. So I'll just show you. So this is, can you see the colours? So this has been standing about, I would say, a bit longer than 30 minutes. So you've got the red and the blue have gone in, and they've just made like it's more like a dirty orange colour, that one. And then you've got the blue and the yellow, which, as you can see, is turning green. But that's why it takes a while, because it's better when it goes further up the glass. And then you've got the yellow and the red, so that makes an orange. But with the yellow, for some reason, you can't really see it. You get the best results when you take the paper back out, but obviously you've got to be careful and just put the paper, when you're taking it out, onto like a plastic chopping board, or, you know, something like that, because the last thing you want is colours all over. I'll take the paper out so you can see better. I'm just going to move it. Of course, you can make them into a circle, which might look a bit more interesting. But the longer you leave them, the better it is. I mean, sometimes I've heard of people leaving them overnight. So you get obviously more stunning colours. You've just got to make sure, obviously, that they're somewhere that they don't get knocked over, because it will stain. I'm just doing this. I mean, you might want to wear gloves when you take the paper out as well. So. All right, so if you can see now, I'll just lift them up. So you've got like between the red and the blue, it's just like a different shade of red, really. Sorry, let's put a bit of clock in the way now. Oh. Right, I can't get rid of the clock. So the green is a nice shade. Sorry, are you still seeing this live?
Yes, it's still on.
Oh, I know I can't get rid of that clock. Wait a minute, I'll just. So this is the shade of green. So that's quite a nice shade. And then you've got the orange. But obviously the longer you leave it, the better it is. So I hope you've enjoyed doing these two activities. I'm sorry we've got a couple of technical problems created by myself. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch.